How's it going, Speedsters? Welcome to my Flash breakdown and review. Oh my god. Like, seriously, oh my god, that was phenomenal. I really don't want to seem like I'm overhyping this or anything, but I literally, like, was crying tears of joy, like, towards the end of the episode, because that's how happy I was. I get emotional over things anyway, but I haven't been like that with The Flash. I can't remember if I was even like that in season 4. There must have been one time, but this was just... Now, this was the tone of season 1. This was perfect. The comedy in it and stuff like that was just, like, not above and beyond. It was just on point. Everything else, you know, in terms of seriousness and coolness and drama was perfect. The emotion was perfect. They honestly didn't understate it when they recently said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that this would be like one of the best episodes since the original premiere of The Flash, and I really, honestly couldn't agree more with that. If you're brand new to my reviews, guys, welcome. I'm going to be reviewing these episodes every single week, and then the trailer breakdown will be out later today. So if you want to stick around and see more videos like this, do subscribe and go ahead and like the video, only if you do enjoy it. I honestly think that Jessica Parker Kennedy is one of the best things that has happened to The Flash in quite a while. In this first episode, she was remarkable. She really did pull off that Bart Allen kind of, you know, version, like giddy younger Barry, you know, newbie Barry from season 1 vibe, and she was just perfect. And I really kind of was concerned, like a lot of you guys were, in the sense of, well, adding another speedster to season 5 on top of like what we were worried about anyway with Ralph Dibny and stuff like that from season 4. Will there just be, even though we're hoping season 5 will be better, is it kind of too late in terms of stuff like that? Will it just not be that great? But I wholeheartedly take those, you know, predictions, or like not necessarily predictions, or like fears away. She's great, and it really fits in the show. What they set up during this episode, which we'll talk about in a second, really just added that drama element. And what I was even talking about before, and how it's going to be sentimental and so bittersweet, because, well, as we know, Barry isn't going to be there when Nora grows up, essentially, maybe for the first couple of years, but essentially when Nora, you know, as far as her memories and growing up and bonding with her father, no, it's just all of that. It is the drama and the sentimentality from this show I've been craving for quite a while. I just felt like this episode, even though there wasn't like, you know, 6 months later or something like that, it was, you know, it played like just like another episode, but, you know, a really kick-ass episode. Everything continued on very naturally. Everything just seemed to flow very well from what was going on previously, but instead of putting like a freaking bullet in the gun, they put an RPG rocket in the gun, and they just stole all of our Flash hearts away. Oh man, I know I keep praising this. I guess this just shows you something that is done completely right if I'm just saying it this much, because go back and watch some of my season 4 reviews, you'll know that I really was just a bit like, quite a lot of the time. So I really loved how the episode begun and also ended with, you know, my name is Nora Allen kind of thing. That was really cool, a really cool feature. As I said, it's really nice and refreshing to have like this newbie Flash aspect to it again. We did learn that it's more or less 30 years from now when Nora Allen is the protector of Central City, and she says that she's trying to like live up to the name of her father and everything like that. And we learned the reason behind why she's called XS, because it's actually Iris who gave her the name of XS, because she does kind of everything in excess. Kind of like a simple explanation, but I'll go with it. Now, all of this was still going down in Papa Joe's household, and that's when we learned that Cecile still has powers. I actually did theorize this in the latest, you know, the final trailer we got for The Flash Season 5, which dropped only like a couple of days ago or so. And I was wondering, like, oh man, is Cecile going to do something when Cicada comes into the room? If you guys have seen that trailer, I'll leave it in the cards above if you haven't. She can read the baby's mind, so her powers aren't gone after all. Now, it's not like I'm mad about it, but it's just like, I hope that it doesn't disservice the show in like a way that the typical, I just feel like average person isn't the most huge fan of what Cecile has done in the past. It's got nothing to do with the actress. It's just more or less the writing. So, you know, I'm going to give Cecile a chance. I'm going to see, you know, what her powers involve, but I just hope they don't make it cringy or something like that, or just don't make her OP in the sense of where it's just like, did you really have to do that, Flash writers, or something like that? Now, going back to Nora, I just love her character. She just makes me laugh as well, and she's not even trying too hard like Jessica, you know, the acting. It's just very natural giddiness, you know. She's like saying things like, oh man, the Speed Lab looks so archaic, huh? So it just makes you think, man, what is S.T.A.R Labs going to look like in the future when Nora's around? Or whether she's saying, these computers are just as slow, or nearly as slow as the ones at the Flash Museum. Which makes me think, man, are we going to get some kind of glimpse, maybe the glimpse of the Flash Museum. I like how she dropped like Mr. Miles. There's actually quite a few things she dropped, which I will talk about in a second, but they're really cool teasers as to things we may or may not see coming even this season potentially. So like Mr. Miles, the curator of the Flash Museum, that was one of them. She also just served as this kind of explanation guide for things that fans would kind of ask. Now obviously one of the biggest things that hit me in the feels in this episode was just like Nora's relationship to Barry, and then you got Iris on the other end. Like Nora's relationship to Barry, like from all the like looking into what we've done over the summer, all the excitement we've had, it's been kind of fairly obvious that whether it's from the trailers or whatever, that Barry isn't going to be around when Nora grows up, and I felt like the whole time I was just waiting for when he was going to find that out. I just felt like the chemistry between Grant Gustin and Jessica Parker Kennedy was so natural, whether that's when they were just bonding over like, getting ice cream, and that's where Barry used to go to when he was a kid, or just when they're in a time vault and Barry was talking about what he had discussed with Iris earlier about how, he was looking forward to their first with this, the first with that. They kept emphasizing so much in that conversation between Iris and Barry, like, you will be here for this, you will be there for that, we've got this to look forward to. And every time I was thinking, no, you're not. And then that just kind of leads me to Iris. I did actually feel really sorry for her this episode, and I can't wait to find out more about their relationship, because I thought a lot more was going to be like explained in this episode from Nora's perspective as to why she doesn't get on with her so well, but we've got a pretty good idea anyway. Like, she has lived with her whole life, and that is why Barry, kind of figured that out. But there must be a little bit more to it. As I said, I felt sorry for Iris because she didn't really understand, and, anyone would naturally be a bit, like, jealous of the other parent if she was just absolutely clung to the other one. Now in this episode as well, we obviously found out why Nora couldn't even get back to the future, and that was actually deliberate on her end. I actually didn't see that coming. I honestly thought that would have been like a weird timey-wimey, trappy kind of thing as to why she kept coming back and she just couldn't get back to the future because of the Speed Force for some reason or another. But then they said like it was the negative tachyons, and then I just thought to myself, oh god, people are going to be saying like negative, reverse, reverse Flash. But then they just like kind of said, oh, it was, she revealed that it was another device she took from the Flash Museum which prevented her from getting back to the future because she wanted to spend more time with her father, which makes perfect sense. But that just reminds me of another funny thing that Nora did, and this is what I mean compared to the comedy of last season. I feel like when they tried this stuff too much, it was just like borderline cringy. But when Nora did that impression of King Shark, that just made me laugh so much. I just think Nora's absolutely adorable. We also learned that Nora is a forensic scientist as well, just like her father. Now Ralph Dibny, the controversial topic of discussion. One thing I've said before about Ralph, I really liked the low-key, still funny Ralph, but not... This is what I mean about season 4. They constantly pushed him forward. Yes, I know that was for character development and stuff, but he really drove some of us around the bend. But for example, in that episode where he, looked after that little girl at the end of the episode, he went to the hospital bed, seeing Ralph serious for one of the first times, and he was like that throughout this whole episode. But naturally, still Ralph Dibny making jokes, and I thought during this episode, he was absolutely fine, and honestly, in my books, a complete welcome addition to Team Flash. And in fact, he really made me laugh with some of the jokes, like say, when he just thought he cracked, like, all the freaking multiverse situation, and his name for it was like the Many Earths, which just really made me laugh out loud. So honestly, Ralph, if you stay like this, it's absolutely fine. Completely thought Ralph was brilliant in this episode. Kind of going back to explanations, I just remembered as well, I like how they kind of explained why couldn't they just take Nora back on the Wave Rider, because they could just drop her off in her time. And then that's when they came out of the whole negative tachyons would vaporize the Wave Rider's time drive and stuff like that. So I was like, yep, fair enough. Just if you keep giving us explanations like this, then I guess fans won't be pokey all the time. Now in this episode as well, just kind of what we learned from like the kind of press info we got from San Diego Comic-Con, that Ralph would be very much so going towards his investigative part of himself this season. We got a bit more of that whole Killer Frost origin drop because he was inquiring about Caitlin's, past and stuff like that, and how he found out that Killer Frost has actually been gone this whole time. And I'm going to link this with the bit at the end to the point where Ralph looked into that even further and found out that Caitlyn's father's death certificate has been faked, which, you know, is going to jumpstart that whole chapter into Caitlyn's whole backstory. So I really can't wait for that. I can't wait to find out how metahumans were around in the past. Briefly going back to the time vault bit, I just absolutely loved where we saw, I honestly thought we were just going to see the Flash goes missing in Crisis article, but when she like pressed that part on her gauntlet, which we were all wondering what the heck that would do, it showed us 25 years later, the Flash is still missing, which I really didn't expect, and I thought that was really, really cool. That's when Nora as well revealed that, you know, if she runs fast enough, she can reverse time a little bit, so that really fascinated me into thinking, man, I cannot wait to see more of that, and also, can she do anything else that we haven't seen before on the show? Now, the villain of the week in this episode was Gridlock. I thought it was absolutely fine, nothing too amazing, but it was literally just the villain of the week. But that led us to the point in the episode where he was hijacking that plane, and then he was taking it down, and that's when everyone theorized, you know, Barry's got to phase it, and I was thinking, oh my god, is this really going to happen? How cool is this going to be? But that is when, guys, we got the freaking Flash suit out, the Flash ring thing, and that was just so cool, so comic book accurate. It was just fantastic. Now, the suit does look really good on screen. I'm still not a massive fan of the helmet, but that is just about the only gripe I have. Like, I think that the suit looks great. I still think that the seam lines would look a little bit better with gold. You know, apart from that, I can't complain. I love the tight skin look. Maybe we'll get the chin strap back. Apparently, it is very much of a good chance that we are, according to Grant Gustin. And as for that flash ring effect, I really would like to think that Barry would keep wearing that flash ring, but I can just imagine some show excuse as to why, oh, the flash ring isn't working, or something like that, you know, for some whatever reason, because it would cost money to recreate those effects. Are they really going to do that every time? Maybe 4 times throughout the whole season would be cool and affordable. I really don't know. I really thought Cisco's comedy on point. This goes back to the comedy comments earlier I made when he was just like, holy, you know, like, did I make that? Ryan Choi made this, and he was like the new version of the Atom after Ray Palmer, which was really, really cool. How this Flash suit is made from like another Atom. Like, that is just, I don't know, that's just really comic book nerdy to me, and I love that. But is this going to encourage Cisco to add the chin strap because he doesn't agree with Ryan Choi's version without the chin strap, hey? Maybe that's something that will happen. Now, when it comes to that plane scene when they were like phasing the plane through the bridge, absolutely fantastic. The Flash, you did a fantastic job there, effects-wise and everything. The whole lead up to it was just absolutely perfect. I just loved Barry quoting Eobard Thawne. He taught him so much. Even, yeah, Barry would have found his own way, but in the original timeline, he became the Flash a bit later. Stuff like that. So I thought it was just really poetic, and when they just flashed Harrison Wells on the screen as well, it was just so feelsy. It was just so cool. Let me know if you guys agree with that. I think that was one of my favorite, if not my favorite part of the episode, when Barry was saying, or, you know, paraphrasing exactly what Eobard Thawne said to him, that really unlocked that Speed Force potential and allowed him to tap into that zone exactly how it did for Nora. Now, as for Nora staying, like, how nitty-picky you want to get it with this, I thought, for me at least, the explanation was okay because of what Wally said. You know, the Legends gave a couple explanations in terms of how there's some things in time that is soft. So if you, for example, catch Gridlock a bit late, that won't really have any repercussions, where if you save your mother from dying when she was meant to die, that would cause a flashpoint. So Nora staying, as long as you try to keep it under control, should be fine. So I thought that was okay. I know some people are kind of unhappy with the whole big mistake thing. In my mind, I think Nora saying she's made a really, really big mistake, that is kind of a little bit of a light robbery in the sense of, I guess there isn't a big mistake, because her whole excuse for staying there was that she couldn't run back in time, where in fact she could run back the whole time. So, you know, it was kind of a little bit of trickery, but I don't really mind that too much. But the Flash writers did say, or the showrunners did say, that Nora coming back in time will have ripple effect mistakes. You would have to definitely think there is, because it's just inevitable. Their daughter is back in present time. But as far as that big mistake, let me know if you feel a little bit robbed of the, you know, anticipation of what that could have been. For me, I don't mind it so much because they gave us an explanation of how really she just wanted to stay there. But yeah, it depends how disappointed you are by that. The lounge just made me laugh. I think that set's pretty cool. Just that little shot of Barry and Iris looking at their daughter and the family. I just thought like, man, you really do blend in well with the show. You're doing a great job, Jessica/Nora. And I can't wait to see what is to come with this family dynamic in season 5. And then lastly, guys, we got that Cicada scene, which was really nice. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't too much. It wasn't too little. I love how the lightning bolt dagger served as like a lightning bolt dagger grenade. That was freaking awesome. But it turns out that he wanted to kill Gridlock, just like Cicada kind of does in the comics, and how he wants to kill every metahuman saved by the Flash, but in the show he just wants to kill outright every metahuman. This really just served as hype for me to see the more personalized, maybe flashback scenes of Chris Klein without a mask, serving an explanation as to why he is the way he is, why he wants to kill every metahuman. I cannot wait for that. But anyway, guys, I know this has been a bit more of a long video, but there was just so much to get through. Let me know what you thought of this down in the comments below. Be sure to stick around for my trailer breakdown later on today. The trailer breakdown for next week's episode might already be up. If it is, it'll be in the cards above. But other than that, guys, like this video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel for more Flash and nerdy videos just like this. But anyway, guys, I'll see you speedsters in the next video. Goodbye.